evening, friends, delegates, brothers and sisters. I am delighted to join you in this gathering, which has been convened at a time when human development is accelerating towards technological transformation. Every major technological shift past tools of survival through the steam engine and electricity, computer, internet, and now artificial intelligence has changed how societies produce, govern, trade, and learn over time. Data, which brings us here, has become the currency of change. It determines who can plan, who can compete, who can innovate, and it determines who can access public services and who is visible to the systems that shape decisions. It has opened real frontiers across sectors, while at the same time, it has deepened the divide between those who hold infrastructure, capital, and skills on one hand, and those left at the margins on the other. We live in a world of overlapping crises, as has been said here by other speakers, and I want to appreciate all the gracious ladies and the profound gentlemen who have spoken before me this afternoon, and even those who spoke when I was not here. We live in a world of overlapping crises where climate stress sits alongside debt, pressure, and food insecurity, where conflict, inequality, and technological disruption have worn down public confidence in institutions, and where the same advanced technologies that create possibility also create exclusion, misinformation, surveillance, bias, cyber insecurity, and a quieter form of dependency. The greater challenge, therefore, is not building powerful technologies, but rather creating resilient and inclusive technologies as we operate in a very fluid ecosystem. Technology should not become an instrument for the prosperity of a few people, but rather a gateway to inclusive development, prosperity, and the dignity of as many people in the world as possible. Friends, data is the epicenter of sustainable development. Even this era of artificial intelligence, data carries added weight because it is the foundation on which the new intelligence will be built. A weak data system, or one that leaves people out, will hand in or will hand those same weaknesses and exclusions to everything that is constructed on that weak data. This festival, therefore, has to help us move data, the subject of data, from a technical subject to a development, financing, and governance priority. Our progress will be evident in whether the data we produce leads to better decisions, financing of the right things, and building resilient and just societies. We have to stop seeing data as merely something useful and start treating data and national data systems as core development infrastructure, like roads and power and hospitals and schools. Because the same way roads, schools, hospitals, energy utilities are visible While data and data systems may not be as visible, but the relationship between the two is profound because data systems determine whether every one of those other infrastructure investment is properly planned, targeted, and improved. We agree that development is best realized at the grassroots level, as been said here also. At the health center where medicine is dispensed, at schools where teachers are deployed, at the road construction sites where the road is to connect farmers to markets, and at the household level where families await access to clean water. In the experience of Kenya, where we have a devolved system of government with a national government and a local government, our experience has made demand for data even more urgent. County governments cannot plan without credible local data, and national government cannot effectively support the efforts of county governments without current and quality data. Financing data, therefore, has to become part of a wider development reform. Investment in data systems ought to be recognized as development infrastructure support. That is our view. Likewise, synergy between national and county data systems, as well as the synergy between national and global data frameworks, is fundamental to achieving sustainable development across the world. To realize this goal, we must collectively invest in data development and sustainability, including sustaining and strengthening institutional capacity for the production, management, and use of data systems. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, in 2019, Kenya conducted its first fully digital national census in East Africa, thereby providing real-time demographic information for national planning. Through the Kenya Space Agency and our growing Earth observation capacity, we are now using space science and satellite data across agriculture, climate adaptation, disaster risk management, land use, and environmental monitoring. Precisely, that is why it matters that the Global Data Festival is convened alongside the Kenya Space Expo and Conference. The link between data and space is a practical one, as it provides a hybrid outcome central to enhancing decision and action. Kenya's wider digital transformation includes digitization of government services, and I think we're almost done with that effort of making sure that all government services, both national government and local government services, are offered digitally. But we have also invested in expanding of public digital infrastructure and investment in connectivity, digital skills, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and data governance. These initiatives have anchored reliable, secure, and trusted data that is interoperable. In this era of rapid technology expansion, the foundation matters more than ever because artificial intelligence systems are only as useful, fair, and accountable as the data ecosystems that underpin them. For Kenya, data is an integral part of our socio-economic transformation agenda, bound up with every aspect of the development agenda. I urge Africa and the world to invest in its own data capabilities to ensure that each nation, each region, and each part of the world develops intelligence that is rooted in its realities and priorities, rather than merely consuming intelligence produced elsewhere from data that does not reflect its context. Otherwise, we risk creating a new form of dependency, one that wears a more sophisticated and technologically advanced face. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, to enhance synergy in development, I call on development partners to align cooperation around government priorities and citizen needs. These priorities and needs are identified based on national data. As such, data helps us to eliminate duplication, identify gaps, measure outcomes, and reinforce accountability. Data well utilized will demonstrate impact by making public action visible to citizens. Kenya's engagement with development partners will continue to place a premium on alignment, transparency, and results. This means that we will ensure that external support strengthens national systems rather than bypassing them, reducing duplication of efforts, promoting the sharing of evidence, and contributing to the development of resilient institutions. The principle underpinning all of this is simple. Count what matters, finance what works, and act based on evidence. This festival has to move the global data conversation from advocacy into financing and from disjointed, short-lived projects into durable national systems that can be measured and acted upon. We have to develop innovative ways of financing national data systems as core development infrastructure and not as an afterthought. We have to transform data development and management into a living discourse of public service. We have to strengthen county and local data systems so that national planning reflects the actual realities of our communities. We have to align partner support to country-owned systems so that the burden of fragmented reporting is lifted, and we have to advance our data ecosystems for inclusivity and posterity while protecting privacy, trust, and the sovereignty that holds them together. The world has never been short of promises. What it lacks is delivery at scale and at speed. Delivery rests on evidence, financing, strong institutions, and on the discipline to commit to the desired actions. I therefore call upon each one of us to implement the measures agreed upon in this conference and in the Expo to ensure that technology contributes to realization of our overall development agenda and well-being. I welcome you to Kenya. I bring you greetings from the President of the Republic, William Ruto, and on behalf of President William Ruto, the government, and the people of Kenya. It is now my singular honor to declare the Global Data Festival and the Kenya Space Expo and Conference 2026 officially open. Thank you.